Are you tempted in any way to call a snap election?
I think what's important, particularly having had the referendum vote, is that we have a period of stability. There's a challenge ahead in ensuring that we make a success of coming out of the European Union. I think it's important that we focus on that and the other reform agenda that I have for the country as we go forward. And we'll be continuing the manifesto on which the Conservative government was elected in 2015. So I don't think there's a need for an election. I think the next election will be in 2020.
Let me make this very clear, because again it's very important. Under current law, the next election will be in 2020. No ifs, no buts, no snap elections, no changing the law. Under you, is that absolutely certain that we're not going to see an election before 2020?
I'm not going to be calling a snap election. I have just chaired a meeting of the Cabinet where we agreed that the government should call a general election to be held on the 8th of June.
The Prime Minister yesterday said she was calling a general election because Parliament was blocking Brexit. But 3/4 of MPs and 2/3 of the Lords voted for Article 50. So that's not true, is it? And a month ago, she told her official spokesman to rule out an early general election, and that wasn't true either, was it? She wants us to believe that she is a woman of her word. Isn't the truth that we cannot believe a single word?
On the front of The Guardian, in fact there are two health stories in the papers, there's one on the Telegraph as well, from the same kind of source I think it is. This is suggesting that Theresa May's claim on how much money is going into the NHS isn't right, and it's some MPs that are saying it.
Well, it's 5 MPs and it's led by a top Conservative, Dr Sarah Wollaston, who's the chair of the Commons Health Select Committee. And these 5 MPs have written letters to the Chancellor saying you have to stop Theresa May saying she's giving the NHS £10 billion. This is incorrect. I mean, effectively, in not so many words, they're accusing her of lying. They're accusing the Prime Minister of telling a lie. Because she went in and said the other day that in an interview at the Manchester Evening News, she said, we were asked for £8 billion, we've given them £10 billion, the NHS is fine, everything's dandy. And the MPs are saying, look, the only way you can come up with this £10 billion figure is if you completely disregard maths.
Last year, Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister promised that she would secure a UK-wide agreement between the governments of Scotland, of Wales and Northern Ireland and her government before triggering Article 50 on Brexit. Since then, she has delayed, she has blocked, she has been intransigent and she has lectured. And surprise, surprise, she has no agreement. There is no agreement. Will these be her negotiating tactics with the European Union?
Theresa May was told about a Trident test missile misfiring. That's according to her spokesperson. Earlier, the Prime Minister had refused to say whether she'd been aware of the failure ahead of a parliamentary vote on whether to renew Britain's nuclear deterrent. May faced some uncomfortable questions during an interview with the BBC.
Did you know that misfire had occurred?
Well, I have absolute faith in our Trident missiles.
Did you know about it when you told the House of Commons?
And the issue that we were talking about in the House of Commons was a very serious issue.
Did you know?
There are tests that take place all the time.
In a recent report, the Sunday Times claims the UK government covered up an alarming failure of a nuclear missile test just weeks before the vote on the system's renewal.
Is it true that you said that one judge had ruled that somebody couldn't be deported because they had a cat?
Yes, that was a case that's been reported.
We've just had a statement from the judiciary saying that's not true.
Well, that was a case that was identified and that was reported.
Have your researchers done their homework on this? Because we've been told it actually didn't happen.
Well, Andrew, I have not seen the statement that has come to you from the judiciary. Obviously, I would look at any statement that the judiciary made about
we'll
this.
see if we can get it around while we're on air.
The illegal immigrant who cannot be deported because, and I am not making this up, because he had a pet cat.
We've got this statement for a spokesman for the judiciary. He says the basis for the decision was to uphold the original tribunal decision. The cat had nothing to do with the decision. I'll give you this and you can follow through.
I'm sure
the cat is free.